For Your Mind and Mentality, Edition 9. Comedy and wit. Before I start, there's always something I always make a statement before I start. If you're going to respond, try to make a video response and spend $10 on a camcorder so people don't have to see your one sentence typing memo. And I spend a lot of time and attention to these movies, and it'd be nice to get a response that's made by somebody with some effort instead of being lazy and typing one word trying to explain something. And in addition, nobody's a threat to you if they're trying to exchange phone numbers. At times I try to I ask for a dialogue, communicate with them on the phone. And I type and I want to exchange numbers, and they could leave my number, they can call me, or I can call them, and if they can't afford that, then I try to use like Skype or Messenger to communicate with them. And I explain why all this in my main page, and the fact that I don't like typing at all. I've been through thousands of these conversations trying to explain this, so I leave a pre-made statement on my main page in an effort to get people to understand what it is. And now, in addition to that, there's movies. The last couple of movies I've made have had this introduction to explain to you that especially women take it as some sort of threat because they're emotional. They have this, and it's stupid, they have this emotional nature about them, and that men are a threat because women naturally are not physically as strong as men, so they have this defensive mechanism, and it's stupid, and only other people suffer because of it, and they don't understand that they're making people's lives a problem and difficult because they're acting like that. But it's just selfishness because they don't care. Whether they don't understand, they're too stupid, or they don't care and they don't want to understand. It goes in one ear, out the other. Let's talk comedy and wit. Comedy, and I don't pretend like I know a lot about the subject, but if you look at like my previous subject, telepathy, but wit is a form of intellectual humor. A wit person is someone skilled in making witty remarks. Now, that's intellectual. You got to be clever and smart to understand how to make some of these jokes. But there's a lot of comedians that seem to make jokes at other people's expense, and that's the dark side, or their fault. Look up comedy in the dictionary. Dramatic work that is light and often humorous, just satirical in tone, and that usually contains a happy resolution of a theoretic conflict. B, the genre made up of such works. 2, a literary or cinematic work of a comedic nature that uses the themes or methods of comedy. That's not the one I want to read. Wit, the natural ability to perceive and understand, intelligence, keenness, quickness of perception and discernment, ingenuity. Perception, keenness, you have to be a thinker. So yes, that's the connection, I believe. Now, I'm not here interviewing a comedian, but I like some responses from comedians in response and some thoughts on what I'm saying here. As always, check out my other movies, and don't feel free to just leave a video response, buy a $10 camcorder. Also, wit, people like Jim Carrey, you gotta be intellectual to come up with some of these jokes. And generally speaking, that's connection. Now, I've spent a lot of time in my opening statement and telling you about a lot of stuff I'd like how people would communicate with me, and not enough time about the subject. But comedy and wit and comedy and intellectual do have, I would say, a big place in humor. You don't have to be funny to it does make people more at ease to be funny, and not be serious. I'm not gonna say that's the right way to be, but it's the voiceover actors too. I mean, you'd be amazed at who is behind that voice. It's the way you sound and the way you deliver your message, I guess, would make a big difference. But I guess you have to play the game for people to hear sometimes. So comedy does that. But don't, give credit where credit's due. Okay, we're going on 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Alright, see you next time.